saw, dude. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Carly Gifford, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I post sit-down videos talking about legit whatever kind of drama I want, like TikTok drama, influencer drama, sometimes celebrity scandal. That's not like something that happens super frequently, but I really like doing TikTok drama because there's almost always something. Please welcome my dog, Louie. He's gonna make a little cameo. There's almost always something, and it's drama that doesn't pertain to any of us, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't weigh in on our lives. Bye, sweetie, I love you. So that's why I like talking about it. Plus, some people don't have like TikTok, so they don't know the drama that's going on, and they like just listening to it. Or sometimes people are like, oh, I've heard people talk about this, but I didn't know what the situation was. That's why I post what I do. So a couple of light housekeeping things. One, I'm using the Summer Fridays Vanilla Lip Butter Balm. I'm almost out of it. I really like it, but I have another one ordered, even though I have the pink sugar and the iced coffee flavors. The hot cocoa one was a limited edition, and I really wanted to try it. Other thing, I was drinking water with milk of magnesia because I have not gone bathroom in 3 days. So you can imagine how much pain I'm in. It looks like I'm like 5 months pregnant. Hold on, my dog wants to go outside. Okay, sorry about that. So it's starting to get so bad that I am getting like stabbing pains in my back. And I found out that it's because of my probiotic that I've been taking. I thought probiotics were kind of supposed to like help regulate things and make it a little bit more comfortable to go. No, it can cause constipation, and I did not know that. So yeah, this is day 3 of not being able to take a shit, and I'm in so much pain. So anyways, that's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about is in my last video, so my video from Wednesday, it was a really long video because there were a lot of videos that went with the whole situation. And some people were commenting like, wow, you only talked 8 minutes out of a 43-minute video. Correct. You're not wrong. So what I do, and I say this in a lot of my openings in my videos, which I haven't been as much, I guess. Maybe I need to do it every time. You guys, I am just providing you a summary of the situation. That's why I have my talking part at the beginning of the video. So if you literally just want a summary of what's going on, fantastic. Just watch the beginning of my videos. But then the rest is going to be videos about the situation, like actual videos of the people involved in the drama or whatever at the end. So that way, if you can't find the videos, or in some cases they get deleted, but thankfully people re-upload them, but they can still be sometimes like weirdly hard to find. If you can't find them, that's what it's for. So if you want to see it, great, good, it's there for you. If you don't, I'm just summarizing it. I'm not adding much to the conversation. It's just so that way if you see something on TikTok and you're confused about what people are talking about, you can come to my channel, get a summary of what happened, and then understand what other people are talking about. I don't know what you think I'm going to be adding to it. One, I kind of can't add like my opinion because people get mad at me. Number 2, I have tried to make my videos longer, my talking parts longer. Some people get mad that I just babble on, okay, so I shortened it up. Then some people got mad because I shortened it up so much. I am trying to make good quality videos that you guys are gonna enjoy, and I don't know what the happy medium is. And also, don't forget, there are other commentary YouTube channels on YouTube that essentially do the same thing that I'm doing. So I'm so sorry that it bothers you, but just keep in mind, if you really like, if this isn't a video you like, you don't have to watch the entire thing. You can like exit out of the video if it's not your thing. If it is, fantastic, sit here, let's gossip, because I want my videos to feel like we're just two besties gossiping about a situation. But if you really don't like it so much to the point where you leave a comment, well, first of all, thanks for the comment. It helps boost my video because I'm getting engagement. And 2, I'm not forcing you to watch my video. If you don't feel like watching it, that's totally fine. That is your call. It's okay. Click off. Go watch a different video if you feel like it. I'm cool with that. Like, I only want you to watch my videos if you want to watch them. So anyways, there's that. Now, unfortunately for you guys that maybe don't like my videos, this is a part 2 to the Brie Powers situation. So if you had some big issues with the video being so super long because I added on the people's videos from the situation explaining it, guess what? You're not gonna like this video. Okay. That being said, let's get into it. Okay, so last place I left off was the whole Brie Powers and DJ. They were gonna go on a date. She kind of freaked out on him, whatever. Well, then another girl came forward. Her name is Victoria. Now, in my notes, I just call her Vic, so it's Brie and Vic. But she has a 17-minute TikTok explaining the whole situation. I summarized it in, like 2 pages. Here's the first page. So let's get into it. So Victoria and Bree both live in Salt Lake City. Victoria met Bree when she turned 21, and at the time she was dating a club promoter, and he gave her a table at the club to like go out and whatever with her friends, and so he gave him this table, and that is how she met Bree. The boyfriend club promoter introduced Bree to Victoria. So the night that she met Bree, Victoria was at the club with her group of friends, and she said that Bree was just like there. It was her birthday. It was Victoria's birthday, and she was like, Bree was just sort of there. So it sounds like they ran in kind of a similar group of friends. And because Bree was friends with Vic's boyfriend, Bree thought that she could just like stay there and hang out. So then Vic heard that Bree was underage and was also allegedly an escort. So she was like, yo, I don't want to be associated with her. I don't want to hang out with her. Like, she needs to kind of leave. So then Vic becomes besties with one of her, at the time, boyfriend's friends, who was a girl. But Bree was obsessed with this best friend. Bree and the said friend were also like friends. Again, kind of ran in the same circle of friends. Vic worked in nightlife during this time as a bottle girl, and she then became a manager at a club. Again, she said Bree was just always kind of around. So then years later, and we're talking like 4 years ago from like present day, Bree worked at a nightclub that Vic managed, and she was a bottle girl. And allegedly, Bree would harp on clients for tips. Customers would complain about her because she would write in tips that customers didn't agree to, so theft. And then Vic had to also talk to the owners about Bree, like about this whole situation, and they agreed that Bree had to go. And another like big complaint was that Bree would show up and then like go downstairs and get ready while everybody else was working. So by the time Bree got out like onto the club floor and whatever, the other girls at the club had already been working for an hour, but Bree would show up at her, well, actually no, Vic said that Bree would often show up late and then go downstairs and get ready for like an hour. So she was already like way behind what the other girls were doing, and the other girls would be like prepping for the night, and Bree just wouldn't help. And then Vic said that whenever she would try to bring it up to her, Bree would just say, oh, I'm a business owner, you just don't understand, I'm so busy, da 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 da, and so whatever. So then Vic just quit scheduling Bree. That was like essentially how they fired people. You just wouldn't get scheduled anymore. So Bree files for unemployment. She tries to sue the club, and she berates Vic online for weeks. Vic was friends with someone that Bree claims she won a $700,000 lawsuit against, and Vic says, yeah, that is not true, like that never happened. So Bree claims that he R-worded her, beat her, and then a bunch of other crazy stuff that, again, Vic says, yeah, that is not at all true. But keep in mind that like during this time and whatever, Bree was harassing Vic online, like horribly bad. So then Bree claimed that Vic was sleeping with her ex, again, not true, and that he and Vic conspired to get Bree fired, which Vic also says, okay, one, I never dated that guy. Two, we didn't conspire to get you fired. Victoria was a manager at that time, and she told the owners, hey, she's like not working out, she's not working, you know, just I think we need to let her go. And the owners agreed to that because also remember, she was also like trying to get more tips out of customers and was kind of harassing them to try to get them to pay her more. And then when they wouldn't leave a tip, if they would just like leave that line empty, she would write in a tip amount and give herself a tip. So that's just straight up theft. Anyways, so online, Bree claimed that Vic was a drug dealer, prostitute, escort, and that she slept her way up in the club, which Vic was like, yep, so you can't really do that because you a lot of times will start as like a server, bartender, and then slowly work up. And she was like, there was literally like no one to sleep with to like get up in the club scene. So she was like, that doesn't even make any sense. So Vic didn't even like reply to these claims that Bree was making. She just kind of was like, yo, I'm just gonna like let it go and hope it goes away. So then Bree showed up to the club to go out with her friends. The club that Vic worked at, that Bree got fired from, Bree showed up with her friends and like tried to go clubbing there. So then Vic was like, nope, get out of here. Like, you're not welcome here. So then as she's like trying to kick her out, Bree takes her phone out and like shoves it in Vic's face and is like filming her and is like, oh, she's trying to kick me out, da da da. And Bree was like, or Vic was like, yeah, I actually am kicking you out. So then Vic files a defamation charge against Bree and harassment, and Bree makes a video about getting served and like shows the papers in the video, but Vic's private info was on the paper that was in the video that was now online. So like her address was on there, and Vic was like, yo, I have like a young daughter. That is doxing. So then Vic filed even more charges and ended up taking Bree to court. So then court was over Zoom and Brie was just like sitting in her car and Vic says like, yeah, you could see her steering wheel. It was like her phone was like down here looking up at her and you could see her steering wheel. So that was, I don't know, one thing that I thought was kind of funny and kind of crazy. So Vic was able to provide evidence to the judge, like a lot of screenshots and stuff. And Brie tried to claim that Vic was texting her and harassing her, which she had absolutely no proof for. So then the judge ordered Brie to remove all videos and posts about Vic. And if she ever talked about Vic again, the case would be reopened and Brie could be actually straight up charged. So everything gets deleted. And then a few months later, Vic pulls Brie's orders and like records online. You can, in the state of Utah, you can like pay for them and you can get them. And she finds that Brie tried 3 or 4 times to file charges against her. The court ended up giving Brie the number for the mental health crisis hotline. And they pretty much just like wanted to get her out of their hair and didn't want to have to deal with her anymore. So then 2 years after the initial incident, Brie was spreading false info about an ex and was commenting on random people who lived in Salt Lakes. Like, so just like anyone that was living in Salt Lake, she was commenting on their Instagrams. And she ended up commenting on a post that Vic had posted. And then it was like she realized that it was Vic's account and she commented, "Don't you remember when you were fucking him, you fucking whore?" And then Vic reminded her of what the judge said and Brie deleted the comment. But Victoria essentially said, she was like, yeah, this girl's crazy. And at first it was like people didn't really know if she was that unhinged or if like weird shit did just kind of happen to her. But she said that now that it's all online and we can like actively see what's happening, like, you know, she's just crazy. And a lot of other people have been telling their stories about things that have happened with Brie and whatnot. And yeah, it doesn't sound good. So I can do another video with more stories if you guys want, but that is essentially the whole thing between Vic and Brie. And then, okay, Brie uploaded a video with receipts, but you'll have to pause her TikTok to read these receipts and stuff because I don't actually think it's any proof because she puts it up for like a fraction of a second almost. That's not true. It's probably up for a couple seconds, so you gotta pause to read it. And honestly, Brie's videos don't make any sense. Like, I watch them and the way she talks and goes from topic to topic to topic, it just, I don't understand. Like, I don't even think I could really summarize. Again, Brie just essentially claims that Victoria was sleeping with one of her, or with a boyfriend of hers and all this crazy shit. So if you guys want to watch that, again, I'm gonna have it at the end of the video. And then eventually Victoria does post a follow-up video, which I will also have. But essentially, that's the story between Victoria and Brie. And that is as summarized as I think I could get it for you guys. But like I said, 2 pages of notes. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. That's it for me. Now I'm going to play the TikToks from the situation. So if you want to watch those, great, they're there. But if not, that is a brief summary of what's going on between Victoria and Brie Powers. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, I'm sure you'll leave a comment about why you didn't, and that's totally cool, totally fine. But if you did, please be sure to, again, like, comment if you want, and subscribe to my channel for more videos similar to this one. Normally, I don't talk this long. This is just a whole situation. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic and safe weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with another video. Bye, guys.
I wanted to get on here and share my 2 cents in my story about Brie. Coming from somebody who has been caught in her crosshairs, I can wholeheartedly say that this individual is off their rocker and needs severe mental help, and she refuses to get it. Brie lives here in Salt Lake. She has for many, many years. I met her when I turned 21, okay? I was dating a club promoter at the time who gave me a table at the club for my birthday, okay? And he was friends with everybody, okay? He was friends with every walk of life. He introduced me to everybody, blah, blah. I was new to the club scene. So Brie was one of the people that he introduced me to. And I remember the night that I met her like it was yesterday. I remember going up to my table, okay? I had my friends, my group of friends that I'd been friends with for years. That's who was invited. And she was just there. And I didn't know her or want her there. And she thought because she was friends with my ex that she could just do whatever the hell she wanted and stay there. Anyways, it was just super weird and uncomfortable, and he introduced me to her. At the time, the things that I did know about her before, you know, shaking her hand officially was that she was an escort and that she was underage, okay? That she was using a fake ID to get into clubs and blah, blah, blah. So immediately, I just didn't like her. I judged her based off of that. I judged her before I knew her because being a 21-year-old coming into the nightlife scene and getting to know all these people, you don't have as much tolerance for the dark side of it, which is the escorting, the drug dealers, the strippers, this and that. So I immediately was like, no. I was like, me and my friends are not like that. We don't do any of that stuff. Not a person I want to associate with. So anyways, come to my birthday party. My ex introduces me to all these people, and she was one of them. Said hi to her, and I was just like, ew. Like, I don't want to be associated with her at all. Anyways, didn't want her at my table, didn't want to be around her. I just thought she was gross, okay? Fast forward, I become best friends with one of my ex's friends. Okay, we were mutuals, and I became best friends with her. And we were tight at the hip. We were inseparable. And this girl that I was best friends with was friends with everybody. Like, everybody loved her. Okay, her and I were just together all the time. We were friends with everybody, whatever. And Bree had this apparent just almost, it was obsessive over this girl that I was friends with. So you have me, my best friend that I became best friends with, and then there was Bree kind of on the outside who was obsessed with my best friend. So these two were friends. So Bree just kind of became part of this circle of people that was kind of just around all the time. I still had my, opinions about her. I personally never got close to her, never had a friendship with her. I just kind of tolerated her because she was mutuals, right? With people that I was friends with in that scene. But she just always fucking rubbed me wrong. Like, her energy is so jacked up, and she's so creepy and weird, and I just never liked her. Never did. I just wasn't feeling her. And she didn't like that. So, super sickly obsessed with my best friend. They have their own whole story, which is, I hope one day her and I can get on here and talk about it, because the shit she knows about Bree is crazy. She was really good friends with Bree way back in the day before she realized that Bree was a nutcase. So anyways, fast forward even further, I worked in nightlife during that time as well. So I used to be a bottle girl, and then I became a manager at a nightclub in Salt Lake. And Bree has just always kind of been around, right? She's always been around. I always heard weird, crazy stories about her accusing exes of, rape and abuse and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, it's just crazy. Like, and nobody really fully knew that she was psycho until now, okay? But there was a small group of people that knew that she was off her rocker a long time ago, including me. So anyways, years go by, okay? Always kept my distance from her, stayed out of her crosshairs just because I knew I did not want any part of that. So this was about 4 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago now, I'm not sure. So anyways, she worked for me at a nightclub, okay? I wouldn't say worked for me necessarily, I just managed, okay? And she was one of the bottle girls, and there was a lot of talk about how she was harping clients for tips. There was a lot of our customers would constantly complain about her bitching to them about not tipping her enough, or writing down tips that they did not agree to give her. And that's theft. That's theft, okay? That's fireable. And so being in the position that I was in, I had to go talk to the owners, and the owners were like, yeah, we need to get rid of her. So it wasn't only the theft that was going on. She was constantly late to work. Every fucking weekend, dude. She'd show up frantic with all her fucking bags and shit, and she would go downstairs and she would get ready for work while we were supposed to be working already, when the club was open. And we would approach her, and she'd be talked to about this, like, hey, you can't be late for work. Like, what the fuck? It's unfair to the rest of the girls who have been here for an hour or two prepping for the night, and you're just showing up, getting ready. And her response to us was, I'm a business owner, you just don't understand, like, blah, 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 poor me, pity party bullshit that she's always pulled, okay? So anyways, it escalated. It got to the point where I just pulled her off the schedule. I stopped scheduling her. It was our way of firing her. And I was just like, no, we don't need your drama. This is bullshit. Especially when most of the people that we worked with are single moms putting food on the table for their kids or whatever. It's like we all have our own struggles, but we still manage to be here on time and take care of shit. So this whole thing blows up. And so she, you know, I take her off the schedule. She's not coming in anymore. I'm just like, no, I'm hoping she just goes away in peace and just leaves us the hell alone. That sure as shit did not happen. I knew better. She goes and she files for unemployment. She tries to sue the club, and she hops online and just berates me, just goes on for like weeks. So she flies off the fucking handle. She made claims, the craziest things I've ever heard about myself. She said, so I was friends with one of her exes back in the day, and this particular person is another person who she claims that she won like a $700,000 lawsuit with, which is not true. She claims that he raped her and beat her and all these things, and she says that he's not getting charged with anything because he has like military immunity or something. I don't know. It's a whole fucking mess what she says, and none of it's true. I've been friends with this person since long before I met her. And yeah, so one of the claims that she made about me was that I was sleeping with her ex at some point, which is absolutely not true. And saying that he was the one that conspired to fire me, that he like tried to get close to me and told me to fire her. And I was like, no, that's not how this worked. She made videos saying that I was a drug dealer. She made videos saying that I was a prostitute and an escort. She made videos saying that I slept my way up in the club, like through management. And that's not how it works. It's like, you've got bartenders and bottle girls, and then you've got someone who manages them, and then you have the owners. So like, who am I sleeping with to get here? Okay. Said all this crap. Made up all these lies about me just to try to make me look bad. I said nothing. This is actually the first time that I'm coming on here and saying something. Amongst all of the other crazy shit she's done to other people, like if you come in her crosshairs, she is gonna attack you and attack you and attack you, and she will not stop. So while this whole thing is going on with her freaking out online about me taking her off the schedule because she wasn't fit to work at the club anymore, she showed up to the club. Like, you filed from unemployment, tried to file a lawsuit against the club, and then you're talking all this shit about me online for weeks, and then she showed up to go out with like her friends at the club. So she walks in with her friends, and I'm like, no, you cannot be in here. Like, you're a liability and you need to get the fuck out. So she tries to record me, and the video's out there somewhere. I think she took it down, but, well, she had to take it down because I took her to court. But I walked in there, and because she's standing on a table, and I walk in and I'm like, hey, like, you need to go. You need to get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed to be in here. No, you're not welcome here. She like puts her phone in my face trying to record me, and she's kicking me out. I'm like, yes, I am. Like, I was like, okay, you're not gonna listen to me. I'll just grab security. Like, I'm no. Security drags her out of the club, and she leaves. Freaks out about it, of course. Cannot handle getting kicked out of the club. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're coming to a place that you are insanely unwelcome, and then you throw a fit when you get kicked out. Eat shit. So anyways, never said a word. I didn't give into her stupid social media shit because I don't do that. I don't want to. So I filed defamation charges, harassment, A, B, and C. So I was like, I'll just be smart about this and make a paper trail, at least. Make a paper trail of the crazy. So she gets served with paperwork for everything that I filed against her. Sure, she gets served the paperwork. And her next video, within 5 minutes, okay, of her getting served, she's recording it, and she's on the phone, and she's shaking, recording the paper she just got served, and you can tell it's all crumpled up, and she like unfolded it, and she's recording it. And the problem I had with that is my address was on that, and she put it out there on social media. Now I have a daughter, and I'm like, you're not gonna put my goddamn address online when I have a kid. Like, you're so crazy. So anyways, I filed more charges, took her to court. And so we had to do a Zoom call court, right? So it's me and her fucking dirtbag lawyer who God knows where she got a lawyer. He had zero skills. He helped her zilch, nothing. He did not help her at all. And on the recording, like, because you can see, so it's me, I'm in my living room dressed for court, and then we've got the judge, and then her lawyer, like her fucking free lawyer, I'm sure she found somewhere or sucked off to get him to work for her, is up here in the corner, and then it's her, and she's just sitting in her car, and her fucking phone is like this, like, I could see her steering wheel. This is how she is in court. She's just like this, talking in court. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we start hashing out our deal with the judge. And I was like, nope, here's everything you need to know. Here's all the proof, screenshots, blah, blah. They already had all the evidence. And she's lying, saying that I was texting her, harassing her, all this crap. I was like, nope, I didn't say a goddamn word to you. I didn't make one post about you. And her lawyer was like, oh, well, he just shrugged, basically. He was just like, well, I guess I don't know what to do, like, whatever. So he knew she was a bad apple. And the judge ordered her to remove all of her content about me, and that if she ever talked about me online again, I could reopen the case and she would be charged. So she said, fine, whatever. Okay, so we get off the call. That's all said and done. She deletes all the videos. I don't hear from her. Later on, a few months later, I decided to pull her records. So you can like go online and you can pay to see somebody's court records. So I pulled all her records. So I can see all her collections. I can see every time she's tried to file anything in court. I can see all her fucking business. So I have all of it in a folder at home in case she ever tries to pull anything. But in that is so much shit I didn't even know. She tried to go to the court 3 or 4 times to file charges back against me, and nothing stuck. I never got served with any paperwork. And in the notes, because she wouldn't leave them alone about me, the courts and the officers, it said that they turned her away and they gave her the number for the mental health crisis phone number. So whoever was at the court was just like, no, we're not filing this. You're off your rocker. Here's a phone number for some mental health help. I just laughed. I was like, that's crazy. Like, you spend so much time and energy for what? You don't get anything out of this. So anyways, so I don't hear from her for a very long time. It all goes away. I'm like, cool. The court shut her up. They installed a mute button on her. Awesome. And then I wake up, this was probably like a year ago now, so 2 years after the whole incident. I wake up and I have notifications from her on my Instagram, and she had been up all night long trying to spread misinformation about another one of her exes. She had won some court case, and she's commenting on just random people's videos or random people's posts in Salt Lake, that she won this court case, which is not true. I looked at her court records again. She didn't win shit. She keeps getting turned away. Because nothing she says is true. She has no evidence. She comes across my page to leave these comments. So she left the comment, and then I think she realized she was on my page, and then she made another comment like, do you remember when you were fucking him, you fucking whore, and blah blah blah. Now mind you, I'm married, okay? Like that was not happening ever. So I responded back to her, and I was just like, you do know this one comment could catch you charges, right? Don't you remember the judge telling you that if you ever talked about me online again, that you would get charges? And then I had a handful of my friends just fucking go off on her, and she finally deleted the comment, and I haven't heard from her since. But this shit about her going viral with DJ doesn't surprise me one bit. This has been happening for the last 10 years. I am really glad that DJ's benefiting from it, and I hope that his business does really well because of it, because he deserves it. Nobody deserves the wrath of Brie. It's mind-boggling, and it's laughable at this point, because when my shit went down a few years ago, it kind of teetered on like, is she telling the truth or is she crazy? Like, only a small amount of people realized that she was out of control and a liar. And now that it's going fucking viral, I'm like, yes, finally, yes. We all can see the truth and everything you say can be disregarded. I do hope that she gets help someday, because here's the thing is, like, although she's a piece of shit, I do see that she's suffering, and she has been for a very long time. Like, yeah, she came from a hard childhood, obviously. There's some messed up things that she's done her entire life, and I think a lot of it does stem from her childhood, and I think she has some serious mental health issues, and I hope that she can seek to, you know, rectify the damage that she's done and eventually seek professional help. She, in my opinion, is 100% a danger to people. I think that at some point, because she has no self-control, I think that at some point she might actually hurt somebody or kill them, to be honest with you. Just based off of what I've seen this last however many years it's almost been 10 years. Anyways, I hope she gets help before she actually hurts somebody instead of just harasses them and doxes them, because nobody deserves that. All right, I knew that I was going to get this question, so let me just clear it up really quick. A majority of my time, I was working in nightlife as a manager. So at one point, I was working as a manager, and I got together with this guy who didn't want me to work in nightlife anymore. So I quit. I went on to get my license to be a loan officer and do mortgages. I published a book, and that's what I was doing during my time away. That went on for about a year, and him and I ended up going our separate ways. We grew apart. Okay, it didn't work out. So I decided to go back to work in nightlife because it's what I know. It's easy. I really only quit to appease him. And I actually ended up getting a job up in Park City at the downstairs. So I'm working up there, going on about my life. And then I get a call one day from the owner of the old club that I managed at. And he was like, hey, I heard you're working in nightlife again. And, you know, I told him what happened, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, well, why don't you come back and work for me? I would much rather have you working for me than with the competition or any competition. And I agreed. I was like, it's perfect because I live downtown. It was much better than me commuting 45 minutes to work to Park City in the middle of the night. So I went back to work at the old club, and I came back just as a bottle girl. And I did not know Bree was working there. Somehow she got a job there while I was away. Had I been there, that would not have happened. Not at all. So we're all working as bottle girls at this point. All right. And within a couple of months, the owners asked me if I wanted my old job back to work in management again. And I agreed, and I took it. And that's when all of this unraveled. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up.
You are going to want to pull up your seat for this one, because that hashtag Seek Justice Courtney girl is about to get roasted with the truth.
About like Victoria, that she's like a bully, like because
she stole from us. We had to fire her, right?
Wait, what?
We fired her.
You fired Victoria?
Yeah, she left one night with all the money from all of her bottles.
For which club?
Button Down.
Button Down.
Mm-hmm.
She stole
Mental health, and she refuses to get it.
Now wait just a second here, Victoria Higgins. Is this the same mental health class I was taking that you couldn't show up to? That you say I refused to get? Okay, so what actually happened was Courtney hit me up and said she wanted to kill herself. They got married and she sent him back to jail. She was gonna kill herself, and because she had a son, I showed up and offered to help her clean her house. She was the one that like got in my car and was like, let's go somewhere, let's do something. So I actually went and picked up Savannah Peterson. She actually is also an ex-girlfriend of another ex-boyfriend that I dated, Cole Sundstrom. She had that viral video of him like messing up her whole house, and like he went to jail for that after as well, but she was with us. And actually, we were gonna go vandalize Victoria Novak Higgins' car and write community pussy on her car at 2 a.m. I even need to go back and find mine and hers text because I have me and Jordan's mom's text, and they're great. Take a look at them. I was 19, Jordan was 30, and I never really considered to date him. I just told him I wanted to be his friend. He was the one that wanted me to log into Facebook and make us official. But I always had a really good friendship with his mom. His mom had his dad make me bunny hatches like years after I'd broken up with him because he like couldn't say Lil. Then Jordan's mom told me Courtney claims that Jordan had her raped while he was in jail on behalf of me. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, ignore the crazy Courtney stuff. Like, she hates Courtney. She's not like them. Courtney and Jordan still live in their basement. Like, she's miserable. This is the mutual cop friend that she's talking about. I was talking about it with Jordan's mom. His name was Scooby. So finally he gets back to me. He never wanted to hang out with her. He tracked her down at 2 a.m. and then he brought her home at 1 to 2 a.m. So she never went to the hospital. She never was found out at 4 a.m. She was telling my friend she woke up at my house at 6 a.m. That's why I brought the cameras from the police station. Let me take a step back and remind you of when I said that me and Miss Courtney Goff were going to go write community pussy on Miss Victoria Novak's car. Yeah, that's right. We went to Walmart and we bought the spray cans and everything. And we went and got Savannah Peterson all the way from West Valley. And we drove all the way to Murray, to Tammy's house, to where Tammy was staying. She would always complain that Victoria would leave her daughter home alone for days with the babysitter, and Victoria would stay out drunk for days, just sleeping with like 5 different men at a time. So after me and my ex-fiance got engaged, I got pregnant, and then Victoria was hanging out with him and would send me mean videos like this. I was 21 and pregnant.
Fucking stuffs her face with chips.
21.
If she got an ass, if she's fat,
So right here we have a really valid question.
I get this question, so let me just clear it up really quick. A majority of my
So someone sent me this video days ago and I literally didn't even watch it because I just watched it, and a top comment an hour ago, how did she end up working for you if you didn't like her? She blocked me. Notice this line. That he introduced me to, hear that? Now she's gonna say he didn't introduce me to her. So Victoria was actually married like years ago, and she cheated on her husband, like full blown cheated on her husband with a club promoter because she's literally a club groupie. The club promoter caught her cheating on him by posting herself on Backpage, spreading her pussy and her ass cheeks for $200, literally. And like, I know this for a fact because when I worked at Button Down and Button Up before, when I stopped working and when I was pregnant, she asked me to get escorts because she wanted to go hang out with guys from the club. And like, the professional escort that I provided her with literally only hung out for $200 an hour. She didn't do anything. But Victoria was completely naked and drunk and fucked the guys and stayed all night long for $400. That's not how you escort. Literally, the definition of an escort is someone who accompanies you socially. They exchange their time for money. The definition of a prostitute is someone who exchanges sex for money. So Victoria's a full-blown prostitute. My ex literally planned for her to fuck her way to the top of the club just so she could fire me from my job and get me kicked out of the club, because that's genuinely the type of people they are. Text messages to prove it. So yeah, because he was causing problems with me and my friend at the club, I told my ex that I would get him kicked out next time he tried to cause problems. So him and Victoria decided to fuck her way to the top so she could get me kicked out of the club, literally. I still have a lot of people that think that I work at the club specifically because managers named Victoria are telling people, and even coworkers, that I was still working at the club for a very long time. I was even supposed to meet with one of the managers for coffee today, and he stood me up. So this is literally my final straw with the club. I don't work there anymore because there's a lot of shady things going on with the club. One, I feel like they're stealing our money, where us cocktails would make almost $1,000 and would only leave with like $300 for the day. Our money at the end of the night, and our paychecks was about the same every single weekend to the dollar amount. So it didn't really add up. Honestly, the main reason why I don't work there is because Victoria Novak has been a hater of mine for over 6 years. It goes way back to when, I guess her boyfriend was my good friend and allowed me on the stage at Moose on her birthday, and she held a grudge against me ever since. She honestly would literally message every single body that I would hang out with on social media and send them, I kid you not, a paragraph this long of hate about me, asking them why they're my friends, asking them why they would hang out with me. Not only that, but she really caused a lot of problems between me and my ex-fiance. I was pregnant with his baby. She was always hanging out with him, convince him that I was just not a good person. And when Victoria was telling us cocktails that she wanted to steal the manager of 3 years' job, that I was worried about my job, that Victoria clearly does not like me. And she stopped scheduling me like the first week that she became manager. She only scheduled me one day, and I made it very clear to her that I needed to work every day so I could pay my rent. And she continued to only schedule me once a week, and gradually not at all after the second week. The very last straw that I have is literally last weekend. I went to the club with my girlfriend, VIP, and my homie to the table, and they checked my ID at the door. They knew exactly who I was. I filed unemployment well over 2 months ago, and I was just in the club 3 weeks ago. The manager, Michael, let me in through the back door. So when I went in with Victoria's former fuck buddy, Tamim, to his VIP table, she ended up getting jealous and having the security yank me out of the club and physically assault me. I literally have it all on video. The excuse was that I filed unemployment against the club. So, but I filed unemployment 2 months ago when I was just in the club 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, but now all of a sudden it's a problem that I'm there with your fuck buddy on taxes and not claiming any of their employees. Claiming that I made less than $3,000 the whole year that I worked there. That doesn't make sense, right? So not only that, but Utah Labor Commission informed me that Victoria is not listed as a trained or legal licensed manager for that club. So she's actually legally managing the girls, and so is Michael, because he's actually not listed as a manager either. Ross and Doug are listed as the managers, actually. So the people that view your stories the most are always at the top. And look who that is. Victoria. I said I don't really like to cause drama. So come to find out, like, the reason Victoria got the management position when she's underqualified, because we all know she only made like $500 a night in sales, and she literally sells drugs to tables and herself for $500 to tables to go home with them. She's fucking the manager, Michael. They've been fuck buddies for years, and she's also dating the head of security, and I guess she's still fucking Tamim. Who knows? I think she has like 80 fuck buddies. Like, she's literally community pussy. She's fucked all of Salt Lake City. So, I mean, who hasn't she fucked, honestly?
No, I can't believe Victoria just admitted that she was a part of giving me alcohol as a minor and bringing me into the clubs as a minor. Like, how do you admit that stuff on TikTok? That's wild.
So Macy and I took over managing it and owning it.
Okay. And so then you're saying she took a bunch of cash home and stole it?
She took all of the money that night from her tables and just left. Said she had to go stay with her mom, with the left, and then wouldn't come back and the money and wouldn't.
And she didn't bring back any of the money?
Not a dime.
To take a deep breath, because this girl legit gives me so much anxiety, and she has for so many years. She's shaken me to my core. And I've been sent the video that she posted in response to what I shared. So there's a handful of things I want to talk about. The first being that my video only pertained to her and I. I didn't share any other information I knew about her, even though I knew. I didn't share anything that was outside of what was relevant to me. Okay, so that's me. Then you have her, who is defamatory and lying. Okay, as I mentioned in my last video, the accusations of me being a prostitute, a drug dealer, or someone who stole somebody else's job, none of that is true. I have never had a conversation with this girl. Okay, worked with her here and there. We've been in the same room because of mutual friends, but I never, ever had a one-on-one conversation with her because I did not trust her for a good reason. Yet she still found a way to target and attack me. Okay? So there's that. Now, something interesting that I found about her video was, and I did some digging this morning about it, she posted an email thread from Changes Counseling. Now, if you don't know what Changes Counseling is, it is a therapy center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I have attended there. I am not a stranger to therapy. I come from a very hard childhood, okay? So, and I've been in therapy on and off my entire life. I just go when I feel like I need it because that's what adults do, right? I have done EMDR. I have done internal family systems. I've done hypnosis. I've taken group therapy classes. I've done talk therapy. I've done medication management. I've done it all, okay? It is there as a tool to use for adults, and I don't think anybody should be ashamed of that, all right? I encourage everybody, even if your story isn't as bad as the next person's, to go to therapy. Okay, so anyways, in her video that she shared, there's an email thread from Changes Counseling, and it was an email about me canceling the class that I couldn't make it to because I had to fly out for work. And I got to thinking, how the hell does she know about that? So I called Changes. I said, hey, this is what's going on, and I recorded the phone call. I'm more than willing to share that with you guys. I said, hey, look, this is what's going on. There's a person who shared my personal information online about me attending your facility. Now, in these group classes that I went to, I never saw her in them. Now, the classes were different each time. There's different people in each one. Now, maybe by some chance, she happened to be in the one that I was scheduled for that day, but I called out that day because I couldn't attend. And I'm so glad I did, because if I would have saw her in there, she would have recorded it and shared it all over the internet anyways. Okay. That's my business. And for her to put it out there, first of all, is not allowed. I called Changes Counseling, and while it's not a HIPAA violation necessarily, because HIPAA only applies to professionals in the field, licensed professionals in the field, there are still forms, which I have, that we are all required to sign to agree not to share other group members' information. She broke that agreement, and I will be using that in court when I take her again. I've already been in contact with the police today, talked with Changes Counseling. They're getting me everything that I need, and I'm just going to hand it over to them and deal with her appropriately, as I did before. So there's that. Okay, that's the only thing that she said that had some truth to it. Everything else is fabricated and a complete and utter lie. I don't know how she comes up with these stories. It baffles me. I hear the things that she says about other people, and it makes zero sense. No sense. Like, you spend so much time sitting there making lies about people. And what's crazy about the response to me is she had to post her old videos that she posted years ago, because guess what? She wasn't going to be able to keep up with those lies today. She had to just repost them. And another thing another thing that was included in there about this whole me sleeping my way up to the top. So did I steal the job, or did I sleep my way up to the top, Brie? Which was it? Because me being friends with the owner for as many years as I have, and him seeing that I am capable of good management skills, offered me the position on 2 different occasions. Now, this person that you threw around, Michael, was one of the owner's brothers who didn't work at the club, didn't have a say at the club. So how would I benefit from sleeping with him? And I never did. Never ever did. You can call him and you can ask him. And after all this happened, I remember he told me that you were berating him to come and meet you to talk shit on me, and he canceled on you because he didn't want any part of your drama. Okay, so there's that. Let's clear up that as well. Now, the point I want to make with this whole thing is to say, because I want to take the focus off of her, I want to make a fucking point. I do not care anymore what your mental health status is. Every single person walking planet Earth has mental health issues. I do not believe that there is a person out there who is perfect. I have my own set of problems. A short backstory, just so we're all aware of how adults handle themselves, is my backstory My mother's in prison for murder. You can Google it. And my dad overdosed when I was a child. I was considered orphaned myself, and I got emancipated when I was 15. Now, the difference between Bree's story and I is that I grew from my past. I became a better person because of it. And when I have my downfalls and when I have issues or I'm feeling like I'm not totally right up here, I seek help instead of abusing, doxing, attacking, harassing, tormenting people and their families. That's the difference between you and I. You need to get a grip. And I think that you need to be in jail, to be honest with you. After everything that I have seen and heard, I'm sick to my stomach for these people. Sorry, my heart is like pounding right now. I don't know what it is that I'm feeling exactly. It's unjust. It is wrong. Bree has done nothing but every single video that's come out about her has been, I'm a business owner. I can do whatever you want. I have mental health problems. You know it. You know I'm struggling and you know it. I'm sorry, dude. I don't see anybody doing the crap that you do to people and using it, their past or their mental health as an excuse. It is inexcusable at this point. You have committed crimes. You are looking at jail time now. I personally will see to it. Okay? For everyone's benefit, no matter how much anxiety it gives me to deal with it, I am more than willing to put the time aside to see justice served to you.